It's the Studying Brew, episode 955. That's right, guys, 955. You're probably wondering where my partner in crime is. Well, you know, guys, here at Kona Ranch, things happen. And he is needing to fix a leak because I want my kitchen sink back. And so he needs to go take care of it today. Right, guys? Because you know what? He is what's it called? The jack of all trades. He's able to do all this fun stuff. So not only does Andy run the back office of KonaButterflyz, he also fixes my house, right? But guys, I am Brandi from KonaButterflyz. I'm the one who teaches you guys the content. I'm the one who teaches you guys the techniques. So that's what we're going to do tonight. It is the Kona Catchphrase. And that's what we're going to do. You guys are going to participate in the chat and we're going to do some fun stuff, right, guys? This is the 30 minutes of free. So we are going to go over some test taking techniques. Look, I know it's really weird because trust me, I've been doing this for a minute. I know it's really weird to tell people to look beyond content when they look at their quiz questions. Look, we can get a lot of hints just from looking at the words instead of always going in with our content first, always going in on, do I know this? Do I not know this? Right? Let's just focus on the words that they gave us, use our life experiences, if you will, right, on what words mean outside of securities and apply that. And I bet you, if you let it go, breathe, look at it a different way, you might surprise yourself on how you could get to the right answer without securities content. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read, you guys are going to put in the chat what you think, and then we're going to reveal the answer. That's what we're going to do. But first, before we dive into that, I gotta go through our what's it called? Our ad, right? That wonderful ad that Andy says that we do. Let's go through it right now. All right, see, then it's loaded up. I took the iPad out of the house today. Let's see if it actually connects the first time, because that's what tends to happen when I take the iPad out. All right, here we go, guys. So like I said, it is our almost nightly study session, guys. We like to keep it fun. We like to keep it light. We like to just, hey, you know what? Studying doesn't always have to be, serious, right? We can have fun with this stuff. We can just, have a great time with this stuff. So that's what we do tonight. We show you guys how to just chill, relax, have fun with it, still get a lot of work done, right? So guys, we have the Kona Academy going on now. We are starting our day 5, which means we are in the second week. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I promise. Right. But it's not too late. You guys could still catch up. We have a Saturday post that has all of the course recordings of everything that you may have missed last week. We've got it all there. So we've got that going on, guys. We have the self-study course. We call it the self-study course, but honestly, it is our famous 21-day plan. We got it for all of the exams. Well, the SIE 6 and 63, we call it the 21-day plan, but for the 65 and for the 26, we call it the 30-day plan. Those tests are a little bit more intense. So we take a little bit longer for those. But guys, it doesn't matter if you're on the academy. It doesn't matter if you're doing the self-study course. We've got live sessions. We've got questions and answers, right? Our study guides are ebook form. So if you guys have the SIE, we've got links to our videos in that. Don't worry that the other ones are going to get a facelift very, very soon. We've got course notes for the 26, the 65. I'm writing away. I promise you guys, I am writing away. So that's going to be available soon. I set the deadline for this year. Might not hit mid this year, but it will hit out this year, right? But guys, more than all of that stuff, because that's all content, study plans. Okay, got that. But guys, we have this amazing Kona community, this amazing free for everybody studying Kona community, guys. It's on the Discord app. You guys can communicate with each other. You guys can communicate with me and Andy. We're on there, right? You guys can ask questions, send me a private message or a direct message, and I can make sure I answer those questions. All of that wonderful fun stuff, guys. We have our Instagram. We have, of course, that is our link tree that has everything. We have our Telegram, which is like a bulletin board. Andy's over all of that stuff, guys. There's our QR code to get you to all of the links. And if you guys have any questions, especially when it comes to Patreon or just needing to talk to a human, whatever, not studying, but you guys could talk to Andy. You can call or text him. I would text him first at 951-290-3077. And guys, you know, he actually does respond, and it's not a call center. It is actually him that can do that. Now, guys, coming up tomorrow, you guys should have already got the reminder out. The reminder will go out again in the morning. But we have the SIE Academy starting at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Right after that, we have the Series 6. For those of you who are on, we actually go through and answer questions. And then right after that, for those of you who have pre-registered and in the $100 tier, we have our small group. But guys, make sure you guys are checking your Patreon emails for your Zoom links, for all of your time zones, all of that wonderful fun stuff, right? So make sure you guys check out that. Whew. I'm super excited. I am super excited. All right, you guys ready? I know I'm ready. Hold on. Let me get a drink. Let me get a drink of water here. And so Andy usually introduces it, but it's me today. All right, guys, the Kona Catchphrase. That's what we call it. Because guess what? We are looking beyond content. We are not looking, maybe I should say not focusing on securities vocabulary. I'm going to give you a huge hint, guys. Huge hint. We can answer all 6 of the questions that I have posted without securities knowledge. Yep. Without securities knowledge, we can answer every single one of these questions. Now, I will say, you know, a lot of distractions happening over here at Kona Ranch. So it took me a quick second to find them, only because I wasn't really focused. I'm going to be real with you guys. Like I said, a lot happening. Nothing bad, just a lot, right? So it was sign this and sign that because the kids started school. So it was, right? And then the leaky stuff. And so anyways, so I just want to say, yeah, I was kind of not really paying attention to questions. So it took me just a quick second, but guys, I have answered out of 10 questions, I have pulled 6 questions. Out of six questions, I have pulled 6 questions before. So it's not like I'm like diving deep to find these questions. They're there. You just got to be in the right mindset. Let me say that again. Ooh. Let me say that again. You guys ready? They are there. They are there. You just have to be in the right mindset. And I'm going to be real with you guys. See, we're very transparent here. I was not in the right focus mindset when I was looking at questions tonight. But what does that mean though? It means imagine if you were focused. Imagine if you played this game by yourself at home and how impactful this will be for your studying. And does this work on the real exam? Yes. Does this work for, I don't know, name any professional license? Does this work? Yes. Yes, it does. It works. Okay, you guys ready? All right, guys. So we like to start with answers first for a number of reasons, right? The main reason is that you guys have been studying, you have a catalog of information going on in your head, right? Sometimes if we start off with the question, we're like, we just don't even know where we're going, right? So when we don't even know where we're going, it helps. Ooh, worked for her MLO. When we don't even know where we're going, it helps to know our path or our choices before we get to the question, right? What do you want for dinner? Well, give me some choices first. Does that make sense, guys? What do you want for dinner? And like, you're literally pulling it out of the air. You're probably going to go somewhere you went to last night, right? But if you say, what do you want for dinner? This place or this place? Now I can, does that make sense, guys? So this is what we're going to do here. Okay. So I've got A is 3 words. What do we got here? What do we got here? D is an abbreviation. A is 3 words. B and C are 1 word. D, exclamation mark. I love it. D is all capitals. Commission payments. C, money. All right. I like it. Right. So you guys are absolutely right. 1, oops. I'll be looking at my notes here. 1 and 1, right? We've got the abbreviation. Can I abbreviate like that? Right? We have our 3 words. Now I'm going to go look a little beyond. Okay, a little deeper. Payment. I got payment here. Payment, money, right? Okay. I've got a credit rating, right? I've got a description. I've got commission, and I've got the CUSIP. Now, when you guys look at this, do you guys see CUSIP or see something similar to that? Like, I look at that as like a identification number, right? The CUSIP, right? I don't know why, but when I see abbreviations like that, I think of something like something to identify, right? So that's what I look at. It's like an identify type of thing, right? So let's go to the question. I saw D and thought they misspelled crisp. Hey, I'm not saying that there hasn't been any typos in this stuff, right? All right. Each of the following are likely to be found on a trade confirmation except. Okay, so I got a trade confirmation except. Now let's look back through this stuff again. An abbreviation. I don't know. Commission. If you were confirming a trade, wouldn't you want to know how much you paid for that thing? Like, I'd want to know, right? So I'm going to say that it's on, right? What about a description of what you bought? Should that be on? Yeah, right? Does a bond credit rating matter on the confirmation statement? I would say that would matter on, let's say, the prospectus or maybe some other kind of documentation before I get myself into it. But on the actual trade confirmation, like when we buy something on the trade on the trade confirmation, when we buy something on a receipt, does it say that you bought the pink all cotton size well, actually probably would say size medium and pink, right? But it wouldn't give a full description of how it fit. It wouldn't be the commercial, if you will, on how that shirt fit, right? So it wouldn't have your credit rating. So I'm going to say no, right? Boom. And then we would be right. So I'm looking at my trade confirmation as maybe my receipt, whatever. And no, I wouldn't have the credit rating on there. That would be on the before I buy, right? Okay, maybe that was a little deep. All right, guys. You know I can't go a week without a risk question. I love risks. All right, I got default. Oh my goodness, with my pictures moving everywhere. Okay, I got default, I got legislative, I got interest rate, and I got business. Default credit, right? Because have you guys ever heard of like default on a loan, right? Default on your payment. So that has to do with credit. You like the 3 words. D is specific to that business. Well, okay, if default, so I'm only bringing this up because of what somebody put in the chat, right? D specific to that business. Wouldn't a default or a credit risk be specific to that business? Think about that. Specific to a business, right? So I'm going to say specific. What about laws? What about laws? Specific to a business or maybe specific to an industry, right? I think one of the most common questions you guys will see in your quizzing is like the luxury tax on yachts. I say yacht for those of you who have teenagers. I say yacht. So this would be specific. But what about interest rate risk? Is that specific to a business or an industry or a type of security? Ooh, oh, specific to a business, an industry, or a type of security. Oh, I think I might. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? if interest rates change, is that going to affect a business or a security? Right? What? Plus, let's not ignore that this fact, this answer choice has 3 words in it, right? Bum, 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 bum. Which of the following risks is not a non-system? Hold on. I hate these. No, I'm just kidding. I like these. Not a non-system. Not a non. Not a non equals an is. Let's think about that for a quick second. Not a non is an is. So to say not a non-system means system. Right. Let's go with the one with the 3 words. 3 words wins. Boop, boop. Did you guys really just get that answer based on 3 words? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like when they say I don't not want to do it, right? Don't not want to do it. Okay, so if you don't not want to do it, right? Or the phrase could care less, I could care less. Okay, so that means you're saying that you could care less, which means you care. But if you say I couldn't care less. Okay. All right. What another risk question? All right, purchasing power risk, interest rate risk, market risk, reinvestment risk. Fun fact though, look, it doesn't appear. Doesn't appear, does down here. All right. Just because my other 2 answers were C. Were my other 2 answers C? I know my last answer was C. It has a hyphen, so it must be important. C is all, right? Market risk. We call it markets. So this would be all. All whole, right? The hyphen means it must be important. Dang, I should put a hyphen in my name then. Means investing again. Thank you for that catch up. And that catch up. Thank you for that catch. Reinvest means invest again. What about purchasing power? What about purchasing power? Do you guys have any link to that? Inflation. Weak dollar. My milk is now $10 a gallon. Right? I always think of purchasing power is how far my dollar will go, right? How far will my dollar go? And y'all are thinking right now, how much? And then interest rates. Do you think we're looking for a word interest or rates? Interest or rate? I'm going to put percentage there, right? You guys ready for the question? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Now, the ability, okay, check this out. You guys ready? Actually, you guys are supposed to tell me what in the question links. The ability to take the proceeds from the redemption of one security or investment and allocate those proceeds in such a way as to maintain the same level return is expressed in which of the following concepts? I see you put allocate, same level of return. Okay, that's kind of important. I love it. You guys are like D question mark. But what in the question leads to invest again? Yes, we said allocate. Yes, we said same level of return. But there's one that doesn't match the other 3. You could say proceeds. That could be. How about, it's a little word, guys. It's a little word. It's a little word. It's Andy's favorite word. It's Andy's favorite word. See, it's proceeds and allocate. It's proceeds and allocate, same level. But it's the and that links to again. It's the and that I'm going to take my proceeds and I'm going to allocate, find something the same. Boom, two things. Two things again, right? And do you guys ever see, this is not safe for work. Yep. Let's see. I don't know why when I hear the word and when we do that, I'm always thinking of the movie, the Howard Stern movie. What's it called? Private Parts from like the 90s, where he's all WNBC. I always think of that when we go and. Anyway. So you gotta link it. You gotta link it. All right. M1 and M2. Federal and municipal. Monetary and fiscal, and balance of payments and balance of trade. Okay, guys, what did I say when we started this thing off? No securities knowledge. And this is the longest. So if you guys were looking at D, right, it is the longest answer. But what is the key thing in there that you would look for? Mission Impossible 1 and Mission Impossible 2. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, balance. Exactly. So balance, right? So if I'm balancing, that means my question should have two things in it, right? Balance. Okay, maybe it should have four things, right? Because we're talking about balance of payments and balance of trade. But there's going to be some sort of two, right? Usually when I see balance, it's going to go between, right? Between two countries, between two things, right? B and C have fiscal and municipal. Isn't that the same thing? Oh, it's an election year, isn't it? B says government related. A has a number. That's true. 1 and 2 have numbers. Money and policy for C. So this is policy, right? And then government related, right? Because federal and municipal is federal and, right? Okay. Which one of these things should you guys be hearing in the news, given that it's an election year? Do you guys hear M1 and M2 during an election year? Do you hear federal and municipal when we're talking about our president? Do you hear balance of payments and balance of trade? But we should be hearing about fiscal. Is fiscal a securities vocabulary? Or is this something that I hear in an election year? Regardless of who is running. And then now I'm thinking about maybe because of who is running, we don't hear about it. Right. Select the two distinctive types of policies that impact the U.S. economy. Policies that impact the U.S. economy. And he's going to be like, what the heck did you just do now? So I said, policy, right? Monetary and fiscal. Does federal and municipal policy make sense? Does Mission Impossible M1, Mission Impossible 1 and Mission Impossible 2 policy make sense? Does balance of payments and balance of trade make sense as a policy? No. But again, you guys are going to be financial professionals. Your clients are going to ask you whether or not candidate A or candidate B is going to affect my investments. Because the news is all a hubbub about everything that could possibly affect anything. Notice how I said that. Notice how I said that. The news is all a hubbub about things. I forgot how I said it. but I wasn't insinuating anything. I was just talking about how the news is negative. All right. You guys ready? Serial bond, series bond, balloon bond, term bond. Peter, you're I like C. I don't know why I just like C. I like balloons. Sorry for those of you who are watching the replay. Peter has like C for every answer. I like C. D, time, term, time limit, term limit, right? Like that. I like that. Term. Ooh, somebody said, sounds like it might pop. Could pop. I'm gonna put could pop. I like that. Could pop. Right? Like that. D, time. Did I put time? I meant to put time too. Time, because that's, I think, very important. 3 is my favorite number. That is the third. You are absolutely right. B is order. Oh, because it's a series, right? A series. It's in order. I always like to think of a show, right? A series of a show. A and B are similar. Ooh, though they are similar. B is not in the group. A series happens again and again. I've heard of A, I think. I like this. Okay, actually, let's go base purely on this, right? We talk about term having time or limits, right? We talk about inflates, or like the balloon inflates can pop, right? We talked about A and B being similar to each other, being the fact that it's serial and it's series. Somebody put in order for series. I put that series reminds me of a show. And then somebody in the chat, PETA, even though she says she likes C, because it's the third letter of the alphabet, actually said something very important. I've heard of a, I think, not the rest. Okay. This is like a test taking technique, like 101 right here, right? If we're using A and B being similar, and I heard of, I think, let's look at the question. A maturity schedule that has relatively equal portion of the issue maturing at regular intervals over a multi-year period most likely has which type of bond? Serial, more than one. More than one. Right? That's why it's called a serial number. Serial killer, more than one. Thank you for that, Joanna. So look at this. Does what we read in the question, a maturity schedule that has relatively equal portion of the issue maturing in regular intervals over a multi-year period, most likely. Does that sound like term limit? Multi-year. Think about term life insurance. Is that multi-year? No. Balloon. Does that sound like inflate and pop? But now, if we're going with our gut, similar A, I heard of, I think, does A sound like a I love that. I love that. Sounds like a serial killer to me. Right? And if we're going with the gut of like, that's the one I heard of, and it matches, doesn't serial match the multi-year regular interval thing? I mean, I don't know if serial killers kill on regular intervals, but do you guys see what we just did there? We went with the gut. Boo, boo, boo. And yes, they were similar. Right there. How awesome is that? Test taking technique 101. Go with your gut, especially if it's in a technique. Oh, numbers. 25%, 20%, 10%, 15%. What say you? B is the third. That's true, right? Because 10 is the lowest, 25 is the highest. This is the third. Peter's going to say the answer is B. I love it. All right, what else are we looking for, though? You guys got to remember, this is the Kona Catchphrase, not Test Taking Technique Tuesday. 10 goes into 20. 10 does go into 20. 10 goes into 20. Does any other numbers go into it? I'm going to tell you guys something. Fun fact. A and D have a 5 in it. 5 and a 5. Okay. You guys ready for the question? You guys ready for the question? All right. A customer has purchased 200 shares of common stock for a total of $5,000. After 1 year, they sell the position for $5,400. ABC paid 50 cents per share over the year. What's the total return? Well, here's the total return. You guys ready? It's ready. You guys want to see how I did that? You guys want to see how I did that? Okay. So total return. That means I have to add in everything I got, right? Everything I got. Total, everything. Right? Total is everything. How much did I gain? I bought it for 5,000. I sold it for 5,400. How much did I gain? 400. So I gained 400. My dividend was 50 cents. How many shares do I own? What's 5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10, right? Boom. So I have an income or a dividend of 100. So my total income was, or my total money I earned was 500. What's the only other number on the screen that we haven't yet used? What's the only number left on the screen that we didn't use? 5,000. Right? I used the 400. I used my dividend. I used my 200 shares. What haven't I used? The 5,000. So I have that 5 right there. And I have this 5 right here. And voila, 5 divided by 5 is what? The answer is 10. The only thing that mattered in this entire question, was the total return. The 400 and the dividend, the 200. Yeah, the one time, right? The one time. You should have just picked C. You went with the 20. Just kidding. But does that make sense, guys? That's it. All we had to do was total return. Total. I see a 5. I see a 5. Boom. I'm picking the 1. I see a 5. I see a 5. I'm picking the 1. C from now on. Oh, I love it. You guys are hilarious. All right, guys. Okay. I hope that this was an eye-opener for you, because what this shows is that the answer is not always C. But you guys got to look at the words, right? And the words don't necessarily have to be securities related. They're just words that you can connect. Use them to your advantage. Do less thinking by looking at the other words on the screen. All right. So guys, on that note, I'm going to let you guys go for the night, right? I hope to see you guys, members. I hope to see you guys tomorrow in our live sessions. And then for everybody, if you're a member, not a member, you're just part of our Kona family. I hope to see you guys tomorrow on the Studying Brew. We are doing test taking technique Tuesday. It is going to be another set of 6 questions that you can answer with no securities vocabulary. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see you guys there. Maybe Andy will be here too. No, I'm sure he'll be here. Right. And on that note, guys, I hope you guys all have an amazing, amazing evening or day, depending on when you're watching this. I hope you guys take care and I hope you guys stay positive. Have a great night, guys.